Finally, I could get my weekly dose of Snow White with the red hair. I love this series so damn much. I think you all know how much I love this series, especially with the symbolism I noticed last week to the way these episodes are done with our strong, independent MC. I really love Shirayuki. She's such a good character, and this episode is another great example of her character being very good. So, one thing I want to point out is some of the characterization of Shirayuki in this week's episode that really needs to be looked into, because one thing I noticed about her character after really witnessing this episode and in the past couple episodes, Shirayuki takes upon a lot of burden on herself and doesn't really seek any help. For instance, in this episode, we see an example to where she has this massive workload. She's staying up 24/7 almost to be able to help out the soldiers and have them have a full recovery, which eventually leads it to where she runs herself down and she passes out from exhaustion. And this is a great example to show what type of character Shirayuki is, because what this shows us is that Shirayuki, she gets a lot of this burden, a lot of this workload, and she tries to finish it by herself. She doesn't really ask for help. Like, she doesn't want to place this burden on anyone else, and she takes it upon herself to do all this work by herself, which eventually runs her down to where she will get sick. And we have seen slight similar examples of this throughout the different episodes where she wants to do everything by herself without asking anyone else for help. And I feel like this is a perfect way to actually be able to give her some form of character development if she learns to kind of lean on Zen a little bit more compared to how she does. I mean, I like her being a very strong and independent woman and a very independent character. I mean, it's really nice. I love the way her character is, but sometimes you do need to lean on people to be able to accomplish other things. Not everybody can do stuff by themselves, and that's a perfect example of what is going on in this episode. So I just wanted to mention that. I mean, I'm liking the direction of Shirayuki's character. She's really a great character. I'm loving her so far through the many little episodes I have seen of her so far, and I can't wait to see exactly what type of development she might have at the end of this series. But now let's get into the premise of this episode. So, the main point of this episode is where Zen is taking a trip to this castle fort, this outpost, for example, and he's having to check out why they're not really giving any new status updates or reports to them, because they haven't heard, like, any news or anything from them for the past, like, 24 days, 20 days, somewhere around in there. And so they decide to go visit the outpost to see if anyone's there. They go to find out that all the soldiers are sick besides one, which is, I guess, kind of a bad circumstance, because, I mean, imagine if an army or mercenary group or something would have found out that that entire outpost would have been sick. They would have all been slaughtered and killed. So it's a good thing that the prince went there to investigate, and Shirayuki is a very good, I guess, medical herbalist to be able to help them out, or they would have all been fucked. I mean, think about this, because if an enemy nation would have found out about that outpost, you know, being kind of down and sick for 20 plus days, that's bad. That's really fucking bad. Like, that's a serious, serious issue. That really is. And to see how we come to find out is the wood, I was shocked about that. I did not expect that entire outcome, really. I thought it was going to be something to do with water. I really did. I thought it was going to be something to do with either the water supply or something with the food. But we come to find out it was actually the wood that was burning, this firewood, that actually was causing this chemical reaction where it was poisoning everybody around, where they were getting, like, sick. And I don't know necessarily what type of wood that was, because I'm unaware of what wood or what type of plant or whatever that was that they were burning. I'm willing to bet there's probably something like that that exists in nature, some form of wood like that that will cause someone to get sick and probably dizzy to where they can't walk. But I didn't really realize it would be something like that. So, plus a couple points to Snow White with the red hair for doing something very unexpected. I mean, I knew it would be focused something around medical-wise, because that's kind of the direction the series is taken, but I didn't expect it to be the wood of all things. That was something that really threw me off. I thought, like I said, it was water, food, or maybe one of them were poisoning the soldiers. I thought it was the actual boy that might have been poisoning the soldiers for he could make off with the mercenary group. That's what I thought was going down, but it did not happen like that. So, plus a couple points to this series for doing the unexpected instead of doing the cliche. Now, besides the premise, everything works out in the end. I mean, everything works out. You have the motivation to Zen of how he relies on Shirayuki, how much she means to him, a great speech. We get some characterization to his subordinates. One of them, actually listens to Zen and Zen listens to him. They have this really complicated or very personal relationship between each other. Hopefully, we'll find out more about that, why they care so deeply for each other in the near future of the series. But that's kind of what this episode is about. It was characterization and kind of just showcasing, once again, how independent Shirayuki is. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.